Africa is changing. From the heart of Burkina Faso, Captain Ibrahim Traoré has sparked a political and economic shockwave. But this time, he is not standing alone. Two nations, Ghana and Botswana, are quietly moving with him in a strategy so bold, so unexpected, that the world's superpowers are left scrambling. Gold, diamonds, bauxite, mines, machines, and billions of dollars. This isn't just another African investment story. This is the beginning of a secret plan to free Africa from foreign control, once and for all. And the world? The world is not ready. To understand the magnitude of what is happening today, we must return to the very beginning. Burkina Faso, one of the poorest countries in the world, yet sitting on some of the richest veins of gold in Africa. For decades, this gold was stolen in plain sight. Foreign companies, foreign governments, foreign contracts. And the people? They were left with dust. Then came a young captain, just 34 years old, a man who rose from the military ranks and in 2022 seized power during a time of deep crisis. His name, Ibrahim Traoré. The world expected failure. They said he was too young, too inexperienced, too reckless. But Traoré shocked them all. Within weeks, he expelled French troops. He tore up unfair mining contracts. He spoke boldly against the IMF and World Bank. And then, he gave his people something that had been stolen for generations: hope. Crowds poured into the streets of Ouagadougou waving Burkinabe flags, chanting his name. This wasn't just a coup. It was the rebirth of a nation. Burkina Faso's soil is dripping with gold. But for years, over 70% of that gold left the country illegally or under exploitative contracts with French companies. Traoré made his first decisive move: nationalization. The government seized back control of key mines. And then, a shocking sight: massive mining equipment, worth hundreds of millions, rolled into Burkina Faso. Giant trucks, excavators, drills. For the first time in history, it wasn't foreign companies bringing the machines. It was the Burkinabe government itself. The message was clear: Burkina Faso will mine its own gold for its own people. But Traoré didn't stop there. Farmers began receiving tractors and equipment worth millions. Entire villages were electrified. Roads were built where there had only been dust and mud. And soon, the impossible happened. Burkina Faso's gold revenue skyrocketed. For decades, it had been siphoned out of the country. Now it was filling the nation's own treasury. Traoré had shown Africa something powerful. A small nation could rise when its leader was brave enough to defy the old order. But revolutions do not stay within borders. Across the frontier, Ghana was watching. Ghana, the land of Kwame Nkrumah, the man who first dreamed of Pan-African unity. A country rich in gold, cocoa, and bauxite, yet also struggling with debt and foreign dependence. When word reached Accra of Burkina Faso's bold moves, something began to shift. Could Ghana join hands with Burkina Faso? Could the dream of Pan-African unity, once thought dead, be reborn through investment and resource control? Behind closed doors, Ghanaian officials began holding quiet meetings with Traoré's government. Talks of joint mining ventures, talks of building a regional industrial corridor, talks of a future where Africa no longer begged the IMF, but stood on its own feet, and whispers grew louder. Ghana, too, was ready to step into this secret investment move that Traoré had sparked. While West Africa was stirring, far to the south, another African giant was making moves: Botswana. Known as one of Africa's most stable democracies, known as the world's top producer of diamonds, known for carefully managing its wealth. And yet Botswana too had grown weary of foreign control. For decades, European companies dominated the diamond trade, reaping billions while Botswana's people received only a fraction. But under opposition leader Duma Boko and the shifting political winds, Botswana was signaling change. Then came the shocker. Botswana announced a $12 billion investment deal with Qatar. This was no coincidence. Behind the scenes, whispers tied Botswana's move to the Sahel states. Burkina Faso's gold, Ghana's bauxite, Botswana's diamonds. 3 nations, 3 resources, 1 goal: to create a Pan-African economic shield. a future where Africa trades with Africa, and not under Western terms. And this was the true meaning of the secret investment alliance. It was not just about money. It was about rewriting Africa's place in the world. But while Africa was rising, France was sinking. For centuries, France had dominated West Africa, militarily, economically, and politically. But now, its soldiers expelled, its contracts canceled, its corporations kicked out of Burkina Faso's mines, and worst of all, its influence shattered by the sight of African nations working together. The old colonial playbook no longer worked. No divide and rule, no secret deals, no puppet governments. Instead, a young soldier in Burkina Faso, a rising movement in Ghana, and a bold gamble in Botswana had flipped the script. And France? France could do nothing. This alliance, Burkina Faso, Ghana, Botswana, is not just about gold, diamonds, and investments. It is about something deeper. It is about dignity. It is about control. It is about finally breaking free from centuries of exploitation. For the first time, African leaders are not just talking about independence, they are living it. And young Africans everywhere are watching with fire in their eyes. They are seeing what their grandparents only dreamed of, a united Africa that invests in itself, a continent that no longer kneels to the IMF, a people that rise together and never fall apart again. But the story does not end here, because this secret investment move is only the beginning. Already, rumors are spreading of talks between the Sahel Alliance, Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger, and southern African nations. Talks of a single trade route, talks of a shared currency, talks of an Africa that stands as one. But here's the question the world is asking. Will they succeed? Or will the old powers strike back with everything they have? History tells us that when Africa rises, foreign powers panic. And today, Africa is rising faster than ever. In Burkina Faso, the spark has been lit. In Ghana, the flames are spreading. In Botswana, the fuel has been added. And together, these nations are setting Africa on a course that could change history forever. The secret is out. The investments are real. The world will never look at Africa the same way again. Because this is not just news. This is a revolution. In Spotlight 24, your premier source for news and current affairs from across the continent. We're glad you're here. If you're new to our channel, please subscribe, like, and turn on notification to stay up to date with the latest news and analysis. Your support helps us reach more people. Disclaimer: the content of this video is based on credible, publicly available information and is intended for educational, analytical, and informational purposes only. African Spotlight 24 does not promote hate, violence, misinformation, or political unrest. Our goal is to deliver thoughtful insights, highlight local voices, and encourage informed conversations throughout Africa.